Allow me now to again let you hear in their own words what this means to the people of Ellenville.
We are not just talking about opening up a casino here. We're talking about a rebirth, a revitalization of the Ellenville area.
You look out your window to the east and you've got the mountain ridge, and then out to the west is the Catskill Hills, and it's this gorgeous little valley. That project and the jobs it will bring to the community can change the community, and the community can complement that project for the better of the whole. I think we all have to look at it and say, this is going to happen. It's transformational. How can we make it happen the best for everyone?
This is a conservation approach. We are reusing an existing facility for the same purpose. We just rejuvenate it. It's just polishing an old antique and making it beautiful again. We have a shovel-ready project here, and that is not by accident. That's because all of the leaders in the community have come together around this project.
When this legislation was initially crafted, it was crafted with places just like Ellenville in mind.
So what we were doing for these years was to get this area ready for the day that something may happen.
Where is the future of Ellenville? Where are the jobs going to come from, if not for a project like this?
If you refer back to what Governor Cuomo said, his idea was to use casinos and casino licenses to restore economic development to areas that required it. Here, in the Catskills, this area certainly fits that bill perfectly.
We have a real opportunity to open up and to truly be a gateway, and the Ellenville and Nevele project truly do exactly that.
The Nevele represents the last best hope for the economic development of Ellenville.
In Ellenville, the excitement would build.
You got to bring the Catskills back.
We need the Nevele, and we've been waiting for the Nevele, and we are ready for the Nevele.
I think the Nevele project is the right project in the right place at the right time.
This will lift up the whole eastern side of the Catskills.
When we talk about this, we have to think about what it means for the broader perspective of all of New York. We're all one New York.
This was our life, and it was what we did as not only a business, but as a way of life.
The Nevele holds a very special place in our hearts.
We spent our honeymoon here in 1948.
I would be very happy to see the Nevele come back. It brings back wonderful memories.
It's important to bring the Nevele back so that we bring the community back to where it was in its heyday. When the Nevele comes back and the stores are bustling and people are able to find good paying jobs, I think the whole community is going to change, the whole fabric of the community. People will buy homes, they'll invest money into their current homes, stores will be built, stores will be filled. I think it's just a community pride that will come back.
Hi, my name is Brandon Lang. I've been a resident here in Ellenville for almost 10 years. I'm a senior in high school now, and have come to the realization that Ellenville is a wonderful place. The scenery here is rare, and you can't find it everywhere. I would love to come back here after college, but unfortunately, there's nothing here for me to come back to. Ellenville is in dire need of an economic boost.
5-minute warning.
Well, that concludes our presentation. I'd like to reiterate my initial point. I'm here because I'm compelled to be here by the overwhelming strength of this opportunity. The Nevele is the only economic option for all of Ulster County. Thank you. We're ready to take any questions the commission may have.
I have two. One relates to financing and where you stand on that, and does being shovel-ready mean your financing's in place?
It does. Our financing is in place. We have a $300 million commitment, highly confident letter from Deutsche Bank, and I'm leading the equity raise, which will be a minimum of $100 million from my company, and then an additional $140 million to get us to the total $640 million capital stack.
How long until you're committed?
Excuse me?
How long until that's committed?
Well, it's committed now, so we would begin, we would complete it after the license is issued.
I'm distinguishing between highly confident letters and,
committed
funds.
Sure. Well, as you know, that the license would be the trigger for that.
How long?
I would say another 3 months or something.
And a second question. We heard from the people who have the Concord proposal that they think there's a lot of synergies to having 2 hotels and casinos in the area. Is that something you share?
Absolutely, 100%. We're just one anchor. If you want to revitalize the whole region, you need 2, and then the community traffic and residual economic sort of runoff, spill-off will ignite the entire area.
And on the other issue, how would you feel about a casino in Orange County?
You know, I don't really see how the Catskills survives if there's a casino that close to Manhattan. I think it will serve as a dam. It will completely shut off the upstate region.
Does that mean your proposal doesn't go forward if there's an Orange County casino?
It does not go forward.
And is that any of the proposals in Orange County, regardless of the location?
We're creating a destination resort, so we do think that ultimately we can compete in an environment where we have competitors that are other options. I mean, as the Nevele, we're really going to draw heavily upon our history. We're not attempting to be a gaming destination. We're attempting to be a pure 4-season resort destination. We have offerings that I don't think any of the Orange County offerings can compete with, but I think it will be very difficult to convince the financial community that it is not a real problem coming out of the gate. Now, in the future, when the additional licenses are issued, I think that we will have a strong foundation and we will have an ability to compete. But straight out of the box, I think it would be a real challenge.
How long from issuance of a license until first guest?
Till the first guest, we have a 24-month construction timeline.
Thank you.
Dennis asked every question that I was going to ask. And
you guys got to communicate a little better then.
So it's very good. But I mentioned earlier this morning I've never been up to this part of the Catskills, but I do remember the Nevele commercials on Channel 11. But a fond memory, right next to the Palisades Amusement Park commercials. Everybody remembers those. But thank you for your presentation. We appreciate it.
Kevin.
Oh, I'm sorry, Stu. Thank you.
Out of the building, in the computer, out of mind.
Yes.
So I just want some clarification. I don't know if you were present, but we had a presentation from a applicant who wanted to establish, who wants to establish a casino in Newburgh, and which is in Orange County. And are you including? And they thought there would be no. They said there would be no or little impact on anything in the Catskills because you had to choose between. One of the reasons was you had to choose Route 17 or the Thruway before you got to Newburgh. So I understand what you're saying about a southern Orange County, but do you think that in Newburgh, and there are 2 applicants around there, do you think that would have a negative impact such that you wouldn't pursue yours, or you think that financing would be impossible to obtain?
I think financing would be difficult to impossible in that case as well.
Okay. And my other question is on the problem gambler. So I'm sorry I missed the name of the presenter, but I have 2 questions. One, what is a problem gambler, since every one of the applicants has to deal with that? And 2, what organization, once again, and what kind of organization does the spokesperson represent?
Sure. I'm actually going to let Jim answer that question himself.
Sure. Hi. Stu, right? Jim
Yes.
Maney, New York Council on Problem Gambling. The definition of a problem gambler you would find in the DSM-5. It's a basic criteria no different than you'd find for alcoholism or drug addiction or schizophrenia. And that's how you basically define problem gambling on a diagnostic scale. The way I do, and this is my own stuff, I define problem gambling as any gambling-related activity that causes a problem. Most problem gamblers don't believe they have a gambling problem, but most wives of problem gamblers believe they have a gambling problem. So there's a bunch of different ways to look at it, but we kind of make it, for layman's term, anything that's causing problems in someone's life is problematic. I hope that answers your question.
Well, somewhat. But, you know, it still is very fuzzy to me how you identify somebody who, instead of buying some commodity that would be extremely useful to his or her children, let's say, decides to gamble instead. I don't know if it's that's a problem gambler or that's a gambler with misplaced priorities. But it seems to me that's very difficult to identify. But the other thing is, what is your organization again? Is it connected at all to the affiliated at all with this project? And is this the only project that you're working with of all the applicants?
Stu, our job is to raise the awareness of problem gambling in the state of New York. We have a contract with the state of New York to provide these services. We've been around since 1994. We work with any organization that wants to have more information about problem gambling. So on the problem gambling plans, I think I've had discussions on different levels with probably 11 or 12 of the 16 applicants that have submitted here today on different levels.
But would you have, if they asked you to appear in the presentation, would you have?
I didn't quite hear that. Yeah, my job is to raise awareness of problem gambling in the state of New York. This is fantastic for me. I got 5 minutes to tell everybody why we need problem gambling plans and that we hope to have the best ones in every industry that goes on in New York State. Yeah, this is a coup for me. This is fantastic. So yeah, we're very pleased.
So nobody invited you.
I'll stay around and talk the rest of the day if you like every presentation.
So Stuart, Commissioner, I'd like you to have one takeaway from that. I would guess then that we're the only ones that asked, which demonstrates our commitment to problem gambling.
I get it. I get it.
Okay. On that note, we thank you very much for your presentation. Next up will be